Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of my F1 23 MyTeam career mode. This is part 41 for the Dutch Grand Prix. If you did miss the last episode, it was a Lando Norris home win in the British Grand Prix, and it was a double podium for ourselves. Brabham Racing finally gets that double podium, and what better way to do it on our anniversary weekend, celebrating 65 years of Brabham. And now as we take a look here at the performance chart, so it is McLaren leading the way as the fastest car on the grid, but it's quite the battle pack between McLaren, Aston Martin, Red Bull and Ferrari right at the top there. And then we've made massive gains actually towards Mercedes, as Mercedes drops off a little bit from those top four drivers, teams, as now we get ourselves ready for the practice session here at Zandvoort. So definitely looking forward to this round. It is one of my tracks that are on my good side, as tracks that I'll go pretty well at as we look at Liam Lawson there getting himself ready for this practice session. We're going to head straight out, and it is going to be the race strategy program as we cross the line, and it is going to be purple, but it did take us that one lap there to get ourselves set. And we actually look behind us and we've got a engine failure. It's not a complete engine failure, but it's definitely not for us to warrant having to replace some components. So half an hour later, we're back out on the track and we complete the tyre wear program. And now, hopefully, this set of components should at least last us to the end of the session. As now we head into our next program, we're about to start it, and the car felt slow, so I look behind me, and we've got another failure here. The engine is very wounded here in practice, so we're going to keep at it though. We're going to try and get this last program done before the engine lets go completely. And unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get it quite purple, very close to purple, but it's going to only be a green completion in the end. But definitely need to make sure that we get this engine all sorted out before we head into qualifying and practice. As now we take a look here at the results for practice one. It is Sergio Perez, Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris. Our teammate Alex Albon in P10 there on the soft tyres, 7/10 down, and then myself on the medium tyre down in P20, so even hard tyre runners ahead of me. So definitely need to get this pace sorted out, and hopefully a lot of that can come down to the components being very worn out here in practices. We have to get ourselves now in the mindset ready to go for this qualifying session, make sure there's no mistakes, and try and make sure we maximize everything here in this qualifying session, as this is one of the more difficult tracks to pass. There's only a couple of real overtaking opportunities and the stakes are high. With a high speed circuit, as I say that, we've caught ourselves on that curbing there at the exit of turn 8, and that is caught us off guard, and that is going to be that lap thrown in the bin. As now we come to the end of our first flying lap here, but it's taken us 2 laps to try and get this one done, and we are going to go fastest for now, 1 minute 8.3. So we'll have to see how long that one sticks. We're currently still P1 as we're looking to set another fast lap. We've done a cool down lap, and now we're going for another fast lap. We swing it through turn 2 there, and then we get it all crossed up and just catch it for turn 3. We're going to keep at it though, because we're only 2/10 down, and I know where I can find those 2/10 of a second. As now we wind our way up the hill through turns 5 and 6, now through the fast right hand of turn 7, now flicker back ready for turn 8, and we're going to do exactly what we did just before. We're going to get it up on the curb, and this time we're actually going to go for a spin, and luckily we go into the gravel, but luckily we don't get the car beached, and that was going to be our final attempt there in qualifying. So George Russell, myself, and Liam Lawson is the top 3. Alex Albon makes it into Q2 there in P12. He's half of a second down on the pole time, so he's thereabouts with the pace. As now coming into Q2, we're going to do it again and get ourselves on the curb, but this time we're going to save it, and we're going to let our teammate through to allow him to finish his lap, and hopefully we didn't get too much in his way. As now he pulls into the pits there, he's done his flying lap. We're going to be going to see where we go. P4, that's a relatively alright time. We're only a 10th down on P2, so I would say we're pretty much right there where we need to be. On our next attempt, we've gone wide once again at turn 8, and this time trying to get the car slowed down. We spun on the grass. Max Verstappen narrowly avoids us, and Sergio Perez has plenty of time there to avoid us. So 2 Red Bulls, thankfully, not hitting us. And I thought my one lap was going to be good enough. Unfortunately, it wasn't. Liam Lawson, Esteban Ocon, and Oscar Piastri, your top 3 in qualifying 2. Our teammate Alex Albon makes it 3. He's currently in P4 here in qualifying 2. And myself and Max Verstappen, so 2 names there that should be in qualifying 3, did not make it through to qualifying 3. So 2 names there that should have been there.
For years, the passionate Dutch fans have been easy to find trackside in races across Europe. Here this weekend, it's even easier to find the Dutch fans as they have a race to call their own once again. A warm welcome to all of our viewers in the Netherlands and around the globe, of course, as we get underway for the Dutch Grand Prix. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Oscar Piastri lines up on pole position, and Lando Norris lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Leclerc, Russell, Ocon, Perez, Albon, Liam Lawson, Magnussen, Verstappen, Sainz, the Rainmaster, Sargent, Joe, Hulkenberg, Drugovich, Iwasa, Gasly, Stroll, Tsunoda, Bottas, and Nick de Vries. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today.
And now, strategy-wise here for the Dutch Grand Prix, we're going to go for something slightly different here to try and get ourselves in those few positions early, hopefully, to set ourselves up for a good race here. We're going to start on the soft tyre, then go to the hard tyre, so it's going to be a lengthy second stint, but hopefully with our good tyre wear around here, we can make that work, as now we'll get ourselves prepped here for this formation lap. We just got to make sure these soft tyres get into prime temperature range. We can't waste this opportunity to be using the soft tyres on the start here. And you see there's Carlos Sainz on the medium tyres, so he's going to be possibly slow off the line, so we'll have to make sure we keep an eye out for that. As now the lights are starting to illuminate, it is 5 red lights. And we are away. It's a very slow start from Max Verstappen on those soft tyres. For ourselves, we're getting a pretty good start there as we go around a slow Kevin Magnussen as well. But surprisingly, Carlos Sainz on those medium tyres has had an absolute ripper of a race start here. And he's looking to get himself up into P8 already at this race start. We're currently sitting P10. As now we kind of set ourselves up here. We're looking around the outside of both Sainz and Liam Lawson here. We're going to go 3 wide as we wind our way up this hill now. Carlos Sainz very smartly has backed out of it, but I'm still going to go side by side with Liam Lawson. And now as we get to this fast right-hander here, turn 7, you're not meant to really go side by side, but we've kept it side by side, and that is us up into P8 already from P12. So now we've got our sights set on Sergio Perez here in the Red Bull. No DRS just yet, so we'll still have to wait another lap for that to get activated. And Sergio Perez goes all the way over to the wall to defend this, and we're just going to drive around the outside of him. He's on the hard tyre, so very interesting tyre choice to start this race on. As now we've caught up to the back of George Russell, and we are going to set a fastest lap of this race. And you can see there, we've come into turn 1 here, about 3/10 behind on George Russell, and just through the pace on these soft tyres, we're going to kind of have a look here around the outside of Russell, but we're not going to get it done, but we're going to get the better exit anyway. And with the help of a little bit of ERS, I'm trying to use a lot of this ERS now in these first opening few laps. We're going to send it down the inside at turn 7. So once again, a very unorthodox passing opportunity. We remain side by side, and we're going to get the job finished at turn 8. A little bit of a snap of oversteer, but managed to hold it on nicely. And now it is up for us to try and catch our teammate, Alex Albon. And a lap later, we have done that with the power of DRS. So down the short DRS straight, we're going to send it down the inside into the stadium section and get the move done nicely. And now we've got our eyes set onto Charles Leclerc. But now, looking on board here with George Russell, is our teammate possibly vulnerable here? Does he not have the race pace on those medium tyres, as George Russell now gets the move done on our teammate? And that's George Russell up into P6. Now this is going to be a change for the lead here. Lando Norris looking to get by his teammate Oscar Piastri. He's going to go around the outside at turn 1, and that is going to be a position swap there for the McLarens. McLaren remain 1-2, but Norris in front is now back on board with ourselves, and it is a safety car there. Max Verstappen is out of the Grand Prix, so this is actually going to play well into our hands. I reckon I could almost come in the 4 laps early from when we were meant to box, come in for the hard tyres, as Mark, our engineer, has actually agreed with us that that is what we should do. So we're going to box for the hard tyres and try and make this one stop a little bit even longer on the second stint, as we're riding on board here with Max Verstappen. So he's going side by side with one of the Alpines here, as now he comes into turn 3, and there's another Alpine currently sitting on the track, and that is Valtteri Bottas. blocks Max Verstappen nowhere to go, and drives into the side of him, and unfortunately takes off his left front steering wheels. Now we ride on board here with Pierre Gasly, who he was driving alongside with. Pierre smartly goes around the outside, up on the high line there, and he's able to avoid the collision there with his teammates. We come into the pits now, very conservative, making sure we do not get a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And by the looks of it, it's only us, an Aston Martin of Logan Sargent and Sergio Perez that's in the lane. So could this be a race-winning strategy? We'll have to find out here, but it's quite surprised not many other people came in, because I swear there would have been more people starting on the soft tyres. So a very mixed strategy here in Zandvoort as we do an order check here. So it's the two McLarens out in front, Norris and Piastri, then Ocon rounding out the podium, then Charles Leclerc, George Russell, our teammate Alex Albon on P6, Liam Lawson, Carlos Sainz, Nico Hülkenberg, Kevin Magnussen, the final points finishing position at the moment, and then ourselves after the pit stop, we're in P11. Then Sergio Perez, Valtteri Bottas, Logan Sargent, Ayumu Iwasa, Stroll in P16, Felipe Drugovich, Zhou Guanyu, Pierre Gasly, and then the two Alpha Tauris of Yuki Tsunoda and Nick De Vries rounding out the tail of the field at the moment as we get ready for a race restart here. It's a much better race start than we've done it previously, but still not fantastic. Is it going to be close enough, though, for us to be able to go for a dive bomb? It is, and we're going to go down the inside of Kevin Magnussen on these fresh hard tyres. Going to try and make sure we use the freshness of these tyres to our advantage and trying to get through as many people as we can, and hopefully the field doesn't spread out too much, as Nico Hülkenberg is extremely slow. We nearly drive into the side of him going through turn 3, and that is why I was curious to why none of the other soft tyre runners came into the pits, because now he's going to get overtaken. He's going to drop outside of the points as Sergio Perez goes around his outside through this stadium section. He's going to get the job done here. And that is exactly why I came into the pits. I was not thinking after a fresh heat cycle those soft tyres wouldn't be able to hold up very well. As now we've caught up to the back of Carlos Sainz, and can we get the move done on Sainz here? He's going to bring us all the way to the wall on the inside there, and so he outbrakes us just slightly into turn 1, but we've got the superior grip here, so we're going to drive around the outside of Carlos Sainz at turn 1, and now we have to catch Liam Lawson, who's on old mediums. So look at the grip that we've got. We've already dropped Carlos Sainz by about half a second, and we caught up half a second to Liam Lawson within a span of a corner and a half, and we're just going to drive around him there, going up through the hills, and now into turn 7, we're ahead of him, and up next is our teammate Alex Albon, and within a matter of corners, I reckon we're going to catch him too, because this car is on absolute rails on these fresh set of tyres, and already we're onto the back of him. Liam Lawson half a second behind us, Alex Albon's right in front of us. We're going to try and go for a little bit of a switchback, but couldn't get on the power quite early enough as I wanted to. And without the power of DRS, just a little bit of use of ERS, we're going to now go around the outside of him into the stadium section. And up next is going to be George Russell on our list. And immediately, we've already got a really good exit. And so we're already probably within striking distance now of getting past George Russell here. So we're going to use a heap of ERS to try and get this run going onto this main straight, and look at how much slipstream we're being able to get. He brings us right over to that inside wall, and we're now just going to drive around the outside, and he's actually hit us, so hopefully there's not too much damage there. Maybe a tiny little bit of floor damage, but we get around. George Russell's now on board here with Carlos Sainz. So while we're battling with George, this is Carlos Sainz getting around the Haas of Liam Lawson, I believe this is going to be, and onto those medium tyres. Actually, Lawson is doing really well here to battle the much faster Ferrari of Carlos Sainz, but ultimately Carlos is going to get the position. Is now on board with ourselves once again. We're looking to get ourselves past Charles Leclerc here, going down the inside into this stadium section, and that is us now into P4 and not too far away from getting ourselves to a podium, as Sergio Perez now is getting himself past Liam Lawson there, and that is now Perez up into P9 after this safety car restart, and now back on board with ourselves. We've caught up to Ocon, and now we're looking to try and get past him, and once again we're getting such good exits out of the corners at the moment. I actually had to lift because I wasn't sure if he was going to leave me the space, but he did leave the space, and even after lifting we still got a good enough run to go around the outside of him at turn 7, and that is now us onto the podium and trying to chase down the two McLarens who are yet to pit, by the way. We're going to the end. The two McLarens ahead of us yet to pit. Sergio Perez going past Carlos Sainz now, and that is Perez now up into P8. So this strategy is proving to be the one to be on at the moment. Oscar Piastri now a bit slow coming out of turn 3 there, so now we're going to be going down the inside there at turn 5, around the outside at turn 6, and we're going to finish the move, hopefully, here at turn 7. But Oscar Piastri, even on those old tyres, was able to keep it side by side much longer than I was expecting him to be able to. And now, fast forwarding just a little bit, we've caught up to the back of Lando Norris with the power of some DRS. And now we're looking to the outside here at turn 1, and we're going to get the move done very easily, actually. We're going to have it before we even make it to any sort of apex of turn 1. And so now that is us up into the leaders. Now we'll take a look here at Sergio Perez. This is him getting past our teammate here. This would be for about P7, I believe. And he gets the move done before they even reach the braking zone at turn 1. So this strategy here is definitely proving to be the one to be on. And while that battle was going on, Logan Sargent getting himself past Liam Lawson. That would be for the final points paying position at the moment here in Zandvoort. And now Sergio Perez, he's looking to get himself up into P6 now, getting himself past George Russell down the inside at turn 1. Is George going to hang it around the outside? Not quite. With that better grip, Perez is able to drive away. As now our teammate Alex Albon is battling along with Carlos Sainz there, probably trying to defend there from Carlos Sainz. Actually, he's back on board with ourselves here. Felipe Drugovich is out of this race, and that's going to bring out the safety car, and so is Zhou Guan Yu. So I wonder if there's been some sort of collision maybe here on the track, and that is going to bring out another safety car in this Grand Prix. Now riding on board with Felipe Drugovich. He's had an engine failure, so I wonder where Zhou Guan Yu comes in, and there it is. A bit of a miscommunication there going into the corner, and a bit clumsy, to be honest, from Drugovich, just driving straight across the corner like that and taking out another driver as well. Now looking on board with Stroll there. Yeah, a bit clumsy there from Drugovich, so definitely not the way to be exiting the race here today. And now we're actually going to come in for another pit stop here, I reckon, with the Delta that I had, as Sergio Perez also comes in as well. So both of us taking advantage of this strategy here. I'm coming in to put on a fresh set of medium tyres, brand new set of medium tyres. Logan Sargent is going to go by us on those old tyres. And I reckon Sergio Perez is going to stay on the mediums as well, but he's going to be on a fresh set as well. As now we do an auto check here with a few laps to go. Logan Sargent leads the way from myself in P2 after that pit stop, and then it's Pierre Gasly, the final podium position at the moment. Then the two AlphaTauris are Snowden De Vries, Lando Norris, Charles Leclerc, Sergio Perez, Oscar Piastri, and Esteban Ocon, rounding out the final points paying position at the moment. Nico Hülkenberg, George Russell, our teammate Alex Albon in P13. Carlos Sainz, Ayumi Iwasa, Liam Lawson ahead of the other Haas of Kevin Magnussen, Stroll, and then Bottas, the final car on the road at the moment with 3 DNFs so far. As now we're getting ourselves ready for this safety car restart, and it is much better than the last restart. It's actually so good that we've had to lift off before we get to the control line, so we don't overtake before the line, and we're going to send it down the inside, and we're going to have the lead by turn 1. And now with these brand new tyres, hopefully we can extend ourselves this lead here. As now on the same lap, there's a yellow flag behind us. Is this not going to be another safety car? George Russell, the reigning champion, is now out of the race, but hasn't brought out a safety car. Now riding on board with him. What's happened here? He's run wide at turn 8, and it is an engine failure for the Mercedes there. So very unfortunate for George Russell's. Now looking here at Lando Norris. He's getting himself past the two AlphaTauris who have found themselves up further in the order, that just through this the timing of the safety car and the pit window, because everyone was coming into the pits as the safety car was coming out. So they've found themselves big winners here, but they are a much slower car. So now they're being absolutely swamped by all the faster cars trying to get around them. With Nick De Vries there losing 3 positions, sorry, in the span of only a couple of corners. Now back on board with ourselves. It's lap 25, gone to lap 26, and we've just set ourselves the fastest lap of the race. So if we can retain that fastest lap, we'll take that extra point in the championship, trying to hunt down the top 2 in the Drivers' Championship. Is now Oscar Piastri is looking to get himself past Charles Leclerc here, going around the outside, which then gives him the inside at the stadium section. And this here is going to be a replay of his teammate Lando Norris, essentially doing a very similar move here, around the outside initially and then down the inside, and that is going to be on one of the AlphaTauris to get himself further up the field, and he's going to be trying to get himself further towards those podium positions where he once was. And now this is going to be Esteban Ocon on the other AlphaTauri. They're doing the exact same move as Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. So a bit of deja vu happening here in Zandvoort, as now Nico Hülkenberg is battling with that AlphaTauri, trying to get himself into the points here. Can our teammate right there in this battle also take advantage of this to get past that very slow AlphaTauri? He's going to run side by side with Nick De Vries as they head into turn 3. He's going to be going around the outside. He's going to be able to have the better traction he is, and that is going to be our teammate up into P11 now, as on board here with Sergio Perez. This is him getting past an AlphaTauri now. essentially just trying to get past these slower cars, and he's going to do a very similar move to our teammate going around the outside at turn 3. As now, Lando Norris, this is a move for the podium. Pierre Gasly's done really well, actually, to be able to keep this podium position as long as he did. Lando Norris locks up going into the stadium section, and that compromises Pierre Gasly, and that allows Sergio Perez to go through. So now, while that was happening, Lando's teammate Oscar Piastri is getting past the other AlphaTauri of Yuki Tsunoda there, and once again, also Yuki Tsunoda getting a bad exit, which allows Charles Leclerc to then get past Yuki Tsunoda as well. So overtakes galore after this safety car restart here, as now Oscar Piastri goes down the inside here of Pierre Gasly, and Gasly's plummeting through the field as all the faster cars are now catching this Castrol Alpine. And now, Nico Hülkenberg's battling with Yuki Tsunoda. Could Tsunoda find himself very quickly outside the points with our teammate right there as well? Hülkenberg at least is going to get himself up into P9 now, but Tsunoda P10, and looking quite vulnerable to our teammates. Now Charles Leclerc getting himself past Pierre Gasly now going into this stadium section. And there it is, our teammate Alex Albon making the move on Tsunoda, and that is our teammate now back inside the points after the safety car restart. And now looking forward now is Lando Norris. He's looking to get himself up into P2, but we've absolutely bolted. We're nearly now 10 seconds up the road on those fresh set of medium tyres, taking full advantage of that grip, and that is Lando Norris now up into P2, Logan Sargent P3, as Esteban Ocon now makes a pass on his old team, actually, the Alpines. And that there is Nico Hülkenberg also getting past the Alpine there, so a double position loss there for the Alpine of Pierre Gasly, I believe that was. But is Ocon also going to lose out to Nico Hülkenberg here? This would be a very a good move from Hülkenberg if he can make it stick. But unfortunately, it's going to be Esteban Ocon who's going to get the better traction out of the corner. And so now, Alex Albon, our teammate, looking to get the move done now to get himself up into P9 and put Pierre Gasly into P10. And he's going down the inside now, and that is going to be a position change for our teammate to get himself further up into the points. As now Sergio Perez is looking to get himself onto the podium, but dispatching Logan Sargent. Is Logan going to have to wait even longer to get himself another podium here in Formula 1? And that is Sergio Perez now quite comfortably into the podium positions. And could Logan actually now lose out to Oscar Piastri here, and that's Cisco McLaren? He's going to have to go around the outside at turn 3. He's going to get the better traction here, and that is going to be Oscar Piastri now up into P4, Sargent P5. As while that was happening, Carlos Sainz now getting past a very slow Alpine there with our teammate just ahead of him. As now, this is going to be Charles Leclerc looking to get himself past Logan Sargent. So Sargent's now just like the AlphaTauris did, and just how the Alpines are after this big order change here into the safety car restart. They're plummeting through the field as Ocon makes a move now on Logan Sargent as well. So we're getting into the dying stages of the race here. So this is going to be where you need to get your overtakes done if you want to get yourself at that little bit further up the grid. Is now Ocon is dispatching Charles Leclerc as well. So Ocon's got a lot of late race pace at the moment. It's now Sergio Perez. This is for P2 on the road. It's going to get past Lando Norris. Now it's going to be a McLaren 3-4. But now back on board with ourselves. We've driven a brilliant race. We have tackled everything they've thrown at us, and we're going to claim victory here in Zandvoort.
Flawless performance here then, and a commanding victory. So Natalie, what do you think helped them deliver this result?
What an amazing race today. We all love to see an overtake as a Formula 1 fan, and we got those by the bucket load.
Welcome then to the podium, our top 3 drivers. What a great effort from them today in a very difficult race.
Well, there we have it. That is part 41 of this MyTeam career series in Zandvoort. It was a win for myself, our 7th career victory in this series, and it was a very good race. We pretty much just nailed absolutely everything that they threw at us today. 2 safety cars, collisions galore, and we managed to still come out on top. It was Oscar Piastri, Esteban Ocon, Charles Leclerc, Logan Sargent, Nico Hülkenberg, our teammate Alex Albon in P9, and Carlos Sainz rounds out the top 10 positions here, gaining a couple of points, and we take that fastest lap point as well. As now we take a look here at the driver's standings. It is Lando Norris by 28 points to ourselves in P2. Sergio Perez 30 points off the lead in P3. Our teammate Alex Albon in P10, 106 points off the lead. And now taking a look here at the constructors, it's McLaren leading the way by 14 points over Red Bull and Brabham. We find ourselves third, 79 points off the lead of the constructors standings. And that is going to be all for this episode. No post-race upgrades and nothing like that. So just going to head straight into the next race in the next episode where we head to Monza. So I'll see you there. See ya.